What's up guys, Barry Gaming here, back with some more Idle Heroes, and today we are continuing our damage dealer series for heroes, and we are moving on to Cthugha. Cthugha is one of those great heroes to be your first E5. He does have some counter synergy, which is not the best for your team depending on PvE and your other heroes, but overall as a solo E5 first hero, he's amazing. He can get you so far in so many different places. So I want to take some time, let you know he is a viable option for first E5 hero. There are about 3 or 4 really good choices, and I would say Cthugha is probably number 4 on the list. So let's go over his skills, talk about his passes first, and move on to his actives. So overall, he is a ranger, and his last passive here, Soul Shackle, is whenever he takes damage from a target who is burning, he gains 10% attack for 3 rounds. So every time he gets hit, he gains 10% attack, and that just can keep getting higher and higher and higher. When he takes damage from someone bleeding, he restores 60% of his attack value in health for 3 rounds. So again, every time he gets hit by someone that's bleeding, he just gets stronger and stronger. And because your attack is increasing every time you get hit, so is your amount you're healing for. So he's a very good slot 1 tank. And I'll show you some PvP fights where he can literally solo teams pretty much. So that is a really good passive, and the healing is amazing. His second passive is when taking damage, he deals damage, burning and bleeding, to 3 random enemies for 3 rounds. So this is why the last one synergizes so well and why you want him in slot 1, because the more times he gets hit, the more of these dots get spread around to everybody. So it's really good combo. Spread all the dots around, so therefore Soul Shackle can proc and go off, increase his attack, and increase the amount of healing he has. So between the two, awesome synergy. His first one, Demon Bloodline, is just his buffs. So he gets plus 25% attack, 20% HP. He has natural 20% damage reduced, which is really nice. And then he is completely 100% immune to burning and bleeding. However, he can still burn from the Phoenix and bleed from the wolf pets. So the monsters still go through, but Cthugha was the perfect counter to the Valkyrie meta for a long time, and then he got buffed and got even stronger. But overall, very strong. Yeah, I mean, you don't really need control immunity on him. Damage reduce is all you need, so I think you with a good damage reduce artifact, you have really strong damage reduce, not including the aura. And then finally, his active, Terror Blade. He deals damage against 3 random enemies and detonates all burning and bleeding debuffs on the target to instantly deal 120% of the total remaining dot damage. However, that is capped out at 2000% of his attack. So his attack times 2000%, that's the limit, which usually means he does remove his own dots, which kind of is rough because that then means he has to reapply all his burns and bleeds, but it is decent burst in PvP. But it does mean when you're pairing him with a hero like Nakia, Sigmund, even Penny, definitely Horus, he's going to be removing their huge high damage dots and lowering the total damage output. So basically the cap on this, the 2000% attack cap right here, is going to do less damage than if you just let the Horus, let the Sigmund burn and bleeds tick out across the rounds that it would stay on the target. So that's why whenever people say if you have Cthugha, don't run a Sigmund, don't run a Horus. If you're building Cthugha, I would make your second hero either, you can transition into Skereis if that's what you're going Abyss for, or go with someone like Garuda. Go with someone who does not have a dot on them. Penny would be an okay option because not much of Penny's damage comes from her bleed. But also he does struggle in PvE because he does remove the burn from the Phoenix as well, and you need a burn on the target every round to maximize your damage output. Granted, if it's a hero that is guaranteed to hit him every round, it's fine. But if it's someone like Melassa in Flame Shrine where she hits random targets it's not 100% guaranteed that he will put his burns and bleeds back on the target. As far as gearing go, full on ranger gear is good. You don't want to do split for more health. You want all the extra attack you're getting from the set pieces here. There's a couple options for the soul stone. It really depends on what you're building them for. Honestly, you should build them for a very tanky setup in my opinion. But there are quite a few. It depends. You can build them straight up offensive and do like a skill damage stone, something like that. Block HP is decent. HP is decent. Holy damage, skill damage stone is very good as well if you want him built for damage. So there's a ton of different options. You don't need speed on him at all because most of his damage is going to come from just getting hit and not hitting others. So speed really doesn't matter on him. You could go all out and do like a % skill damage attack stone. Could be good. You could also do an effect of being healed stone, honestly, for PvP. So you could build like, I think there's one that's like 28% HP, 1500 attack, and 29% heal effect. That could actually be pretty solid on him as well. There's so many different combos of stones. You really got to play around and find what fits for your playstyle. For defense, King of Demons reigns supreme for him since you don't have to worry about burning and bleeding damage since, I mean, not many people poison nowadays, so you don't really have to worry about that. The only thing that gets past him is Mim's Dot, though. But, yeah, this is perfect King of Demons. If you want to go offensive, I would probably recommend the Antlers Cane. The Antlers Cane is very, very strong. I don't think he has it on this, does he? Nope. Antlers Cane can be very strong, though, for that skill damage buff and attack buffs. Really, really strong. Overall, the way you're going to want to run your Cthugha is 1, 3, you want an extra healing. I've found, at least personally, I prefer Vitality over Shelter. You use Resilience because you really don't want Purify. If he stays in CC, that's perfectly fine because he's just going to keep healing. You want Resilience for your enable on your Cthugha. 1 and then 2 for Unbending. It's pretty much guaranteed what you need for this hero. So 2 different skins. The Halloween skin gives HP, attack, and control immunity. That one's decent. I kind of prefer the Valentine's Day one, the attack, control immunity, damage reduce, and mainly it's just because of that extra damage reduce. It's not a lot, but when you do get to the golden version, 4%, the legendary version, it's decent. I'm not a fan of the look of either skin personally. I kind of just like his old, it's just plain old skin looks good there. So let's do something here. Let's check who he has on the friends list. See if he has anybody that's lower power but has a lineup in here. That could be a good example. So I'm going to show you a prime example of what Cthugha can do by himself. I'm just putting a bunch of low health people. Oh, I didn't realize. I forgot he has 2 different pets on this account too. So we're probably going to have to run. Yeah, we need to run the wolf. Okay, sorry about that. Let's jump back in here. Get a couple fights going. Who was it? You? Yeah, let's fight you. Let's see how he does. So I'm just going to put a couple other heroes in as well. They're not really important. But I want you guys to see how his bleeds are applied. We're going to slow this down as well if it's not already. Okay. So every time he gets hit, you will see right here, you see these damage numbers tick immediately and then the burn. So the first hit burns targets as well. So we're probably going to get killed by this Garuda. But in the meantime, you can see how these damage numbers start stacking up. And as they stack up and there's a burn on them, he just healed instead of taking, well, he took damage, but he healed the damage back up as well. So it's really, he heals at the end of every round, every time he gets hit. Right here, he removes them, which is a little counter synergy. But again, he gets hit one more time. It reapplies it. We're going to die to the Garuda, so we'll just speed this back up because nobody wants to see Garuda killing people, right? Let's see if we can find some other low levels. Maybe someone who doesn't have a Garuda. Here's a good example. And this is another reason why he can be so strong in places like Brave Trial, because he can just spread all of those dots around while healing up. And as you see here, There's a burn on 4 targets right now. A couple of them have a couple stacks there. Oh, we got 5 people, almost have the whole team with a burn and bleed on them. So every time anybody on this team hits Cthugha, he is going to heal and apply more burns and bleeds to everybody. Granted, at the beginning of the next round, he's going to use his active and just remove all those dots. But as you see, it's not a ton of damage. Most of his damage is going to come from that right there, just getting hit and spreading all those burns and bleeds around to everybody. So that's actually a good one we can fight against. Where were you? Was that you? Nope, not you. Was that you? Yeah, that was you. So we're going to show you exactly what it looks like when it's just him. He's going to get hit with every single attack, and you'll get to see the burns and bleeds going absolutely everywhere. And you'll probably watch his health stay pretty high up there. End of round, it stays way up there as well. Ooh, he took a big hit there from faction disadvantage, but he stays alive with some healing. Ooh, the pet might kill him though. Ooh. Oh, he died. A little too much, but you guys get the point of him. How he just kind of keeps healing up there and everything. He's really, really good in Aspen Dungeon. Solo Cthugha, as you've seen, if you haven't seen, go check out some of our older videos. I think from like November, December time, we used Cthugha and got to Death 1 from Hell 50 with Cthugha. So he is an amazing, amazing Aspen Dungeon hero. Brave Trial, he can do very good as a solo carry. You just throw him in there by himself with your pet. You can throw some fodder heroes in there too, so he gets an aura buff, things like that. He's really strong. Really, really strong. In Sealand, he is also very strong. You can get up to about 16, 17 with just a solo Cthugha and 5 6-star destroyers to buff his damage. So you can do that. You just need a maxed pet as well and a little RNG, and you can get all the way up to 16, 17. So that's pretty much what Horus can do, except he also gives you the viability of building more Abyss heroes and pushing further as well. But overall, Cthugha is an amazing hero. Definitely one of my top choices for your first E5 hero. He's very, very strong. Very strong. I love him. He looks cool. How can you not like that purple hair with the horns? I mean, I just don't even know what's going on with any of this skin. Everything is just random. You got a demon skull. You got them gauntlets on. Long flowy hair. Yeah. Big old staff. He's an awesome hero. I love him. Hope you guys too. If you get a chance to build him someday, definitely do it. He's really good early game. Really good mid game. But when you get to the late game, end game PvP meta, he drops off kind of hard as of lately because really there's not much burn and bleed damage. Because really, I mean, the whole point of him ignoring burn and bleed was like the Valkyrie counter. So overall, he's still solid though. Very good hero. If you want to build him, go for it. He's an awesome one to build first. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Hopefully it was helpful and a little informative. And I'll see you guys in the next one.